Breathing. It's something we do every single day without even thinking about it. But in the pool, it's often one of the things that is holding swimmers back. If you've ever felt like you're out of breath after 25 yards, or your legs are sinking no matter how hard you try, this might be the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Today, we're going to deep dive literally and figuratively into how to breathe properly in swimming, engaging the diaphragm, and transforming your endurance and balance in the water. When I first started swimming, I struggled with the same issue. In fact, I think it's a natural progression for anyone who starts swimming. We all sort of breathe too high up in our chest because that's what we do on land. That's how we naturally breathe every single day. I'd sprint to 25, hit the wall, and feel like my lungs were going to explode. And don't even talk to me about those no breather 25s. Those didn't even exist in my world. No matter how much I practiced, I couldn't swim longer without feeling gassed. It wasn't until a coach pointed out that I wasn't truly filling my lungs that everything changed. Like you, I was a chest breather. Again, it's what we do on land. Quick, shallow breaths that barely scratched the surface of what my lungs were capable of. I was used to doing just the bare minimum in order to stay alive. And I was always this way because always had plugged sinuses. So a quick breath out, that was the world I lived in. And it wasn't just limiting my endurance, it was messing with my body position too. So, why does proper breathing matter so much in swimming? If you're a chest breather, if you're trying to breathe just from this upper part of your lungs, you're just taking those shallow breaths. Your body struggles to get enough oxygen for what it needs, for the amount of energy you're expending. This can lead to a significant amount of lactic acid buildup, burning in the legs, and feeling out of breath quickly. But in contrast, if you can breathe from your diaphragm, something that a lot of singers are able to pull off, that's how they hit those long notes and hold the sustainability. By engaging your diaphragm, you're allowing your lungs to fill from the bottom up, increasing your oxygen intake, reducing fatigue, and improving your overall buoyancy. Deep breathing can even help lift your hips and legs, keeping you more horizontal in the water. Proper breathing is like building a solid foundation for your swimming. Without it, everything else starts to crumble. So, how can we practice this? On land, there are so many great techniques. I'm going to drop you three that I like to use with my swimmers. So, we have to basically think about this as a way to retrain our bodies in how we breathe. So when we're on land, just walking around, we will breathe one way. You'll always naturally just breathe. It's part of the human existence. But when we start thinking about our training in swimming, we have to retrain ourselves. We have to adapt our mind. We have to shift that perspective. So step number one, or we'll call it drill number one, is balloon breaths. For this, you want to lay down on your back with one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach. So you have both hands here and here. Breathe in deeply through your nose, aiming to push your stomach hand upward while keeping your chest hand still. Exhale slowly, pursing your lips. Imagine blowing up a balloon. Controlled, steady, and full breaths until you feel nothing left in that stomach. Try incorporating the drill box breathing. For those that don't know what that is, it's basically you inhale for 4 seconds. You hold for 4 seconds, then you exhale for 4 seconds, then hold with no air for 4 more seconds. So if you need a visual, it's essentially a box. Breathe in, hold, breathe out, hold. This trains your body to regulate the air intake and mimic the timing you'll need during swimming. Think about it when you're doing freestyle. You're coming in, you take your breath, 2, 3, 4, back in, one, take your strokes, probably 4 seconds, and then you're going to breathe and take that next breath. You want to make sure you are breathing out when you're swimming as well. But that's not what we're talking about yet. We still have our third drill, resistance breathing. Use a straw to inhale and exhale deeply. The added resistance forces you to engage your diaphragm, strengthening those muscles over time. Remember, we're not used to doing this. So once we get into the water, what can we do to help improve our breathing? You want to be comfortable when you breathe in the water. So by working on getting that diaphragm engaged in your breath, you can now take this into the pool. So one of the things I like to do is called sink downs. Standing in the shallow end, take a deep diaphragm-filled breath and let yourself sink straight down. Focus on controlling your exhale as you sink. Not only does this build awareness of your breath, it also helps control it in the water. It turns off that reptile brain that you're drowning because you don't have enough oxygen. Do rotational kick with focused breathing. Using a snorkel and fins to kick on your side. Rotate your body every 6 kicks, focusing on exhaling fully underwater and inhaling deeply as you rotate to breathe. This helps synchronize your breathing with your body movement, making it second nature during freestyle. Then finally, try delayed freestyle breathing. Swim freestyle, but breathe every 5 strokes or even if 7 instead of every 3 or every 2. The extra strokes force you to fully inhale and exhale on every single breath. You can even use fins to help ensure your focus stays on the breath rather than propulsion. The biggest mistakes I see when I'm working with athletes is that they're rushing their breath. They think that we talk about swimming, we talk about just trying to get a quick breath, and they think that means they need to rush. Many swimmers try to inhale and exhale too quickly. Instead, exhale fully underwater so your inhale is quick but complete. You can breathe out through your nose and your mouth. Particularly, I like to say that you want to breathe out of your mouth more than your nose when your face is in. This helps us ensure that you're really releasing all that air out of your body. Another mistake I see is that people start lifting their heads, thinking that if I lift my head to get that breath, I will make more oxygen available to myself. Keep your head in line with your body. Lifting your head disrupts your entire streamline and can cause your legs to sink. Even if it's the smallest tilt, if you lift at all, your legs and head will not be in the same position. They will go into a seesaw effect. Turn your head just enough to breathe, keeping one eye in the water at any given time. I see so many swimmers breathe and their heads go all the way up here and they're looking up at the sky or the ceiling. That is too much. You want it just right here. You should be able to look across the surface of the pool. Finally, forgetting to practice. Breathing isn't something you work on during drills. Make it a focus on every single set, on every single stroke, whether it's sprints, endurance, or even your warm-up laps. You can even incorporate it as part of your kick sets, holding the board out in front if you're using a board. Don't just rest your arms on top and have your head out of the water. Put your head in. Practice that moment of breathing, getting that comfort level, retraining our minds on what it takes to breathe. Mastering breathing isn't just about swimming longer, it's about swimming smarter. When you truly engage your diaphragm and breathe deeply, you're not just improving your endurance, you're unlocking better balance, more efficient strokes, and ultimately faster times. Remember, swimming is about connecting all the dots. Your technique, your mindset, and yes, even your breathing. If this video resonated with you today, don't stop here. Breathing is just one piece of the puzzle. In my Swim Accelerator program, we break down every aspect of your stroke, from breathing to body position, to help you reach your greatest potential in the water. The journey starts with one intentional breath. Will you take it? Let me know below.